A lot of people thought you might retire after you had your second foot injury. What propelled you to come back?
I just knew I wasn't done yet.
Cam Newton throws a pass, Olsen end zone, caught, touchdown! Yes! Olsen, unbelievable! Touchdown! What a catch!
They covered me with 10 guys.
Are you a blocking tight end? Are you a passing tight end?
Caught Olsen, touchdown!
Every chance he got it, he wanted the ball.
Olsen makes the catch, left side, touchdown, Carolina.
Our next guest has been one of the best tight ends in football for a long time and is part of maybe the hottest team in football right now. We welcome Panthers tight end Greg Olsen. So good to have you with us. On behalf of Smart Water Alkaline, stay hydrated. This is not just lip service. Whenever I'm at the airport, I always buy Smart Water.
I know.
I like the taste.
Yep.
It's very good. And I know I'm getting electrolytes. All right. We want to talk about the NFC South, and I want to start with your Carolina Panthers. And I think you know where I'm starting.
I think so.
0-2 with Cam.
Yep.
Kyle Allen steps on. 4 straight victories. Greg, what has been the difference?
You know, I think we're playing better collectively. I think anybody who's watched us, hasn't been one game. The offense dominated defense. I think the difference with the last 4 games is obviously our defense has created 1 million turnovers, sacked the quarterback, given us a lot of easy, short fields. And then offensively, we've done a lot with those drives. I think we've been very efficient. I think we've done a great job taking advantage of those opportunities, taking advantages of short fields, quick change of possessions going out, on their side of the field. And to win early in the year, we weren't doing that. We weren't playing complementary. If we were struggling on offense, we needed our defense to pick us up. And we just weren't in sync. In the last 4 weeks, we've done a nice job balancing each other out, and we've gotten a contribution from a lot of different guys. And that's our recipe. Over the years, when we play that brand of football, that's when we're at our best.
Greg, I look at the Panthers, and I imagine the frustration. For years, it was the defense, Cam, but the problem with the offense was his best receiver was his tight end, and his best running back was him, right? And that was the offense that got you to a Super Bowl, and we're in a position to win in the second half of the Super Bowl. Now, all of a sudden, Cam's hurt, you're 34 years old, and now you get Christian McCaffrey, who now your best receiver is actually your running back, but he's also a great running back. What do you think? Have you and Cam talked about it? Have you considered it yourself? Damn, where was this guy when I was 29 and Cam was healthy?
I know. It's fun to think about what could have been, but I still think all those opportunities are still here in front of us. I know I'm a little older. I know Cam's had his struggles with the injuries, as have I. But this is probably the most dynamic group of skill players we've had in our 9 years in Carolina. Since Steve Smith, we haven't had guys that can do what these guys can do with the ball, and not just Christian. DJ Moore, first-round pick from last year. Curtis Samuel, he was the same draft class as Christian, is as incredibly fast and dynamic with the ball in his hand, had a great game last week over in London. We are very young and talented if you take me and Cam out of the equation as far as age goes. But it's fun to see what these young guys are able to do, and as we continue to put this thing together and continue to evolve as the season goes on, I think we have a lot of opportunities to be pretty dangerous, especially when you add in that our defense is playing at that 2015 Super Bowl run level.
Well, nobody's going to think about taking you out of the equation. Cam Newton, some would argue, might be another matter entirely, simply because the team is winning and Kyle Allen is doing such a great job in his absence or whatever. We know he's not Cam when Cam is 100%. But educate us about the kind of dilemma, not just from an organizational perspective, but from a player's perspective, to support the guy that is winning for you right now in the moment, while in the same breath being sensitive to the guy that has carried this franchise on his shoulders for so many years, knowing that if he's 100%, he's going to be ready to come back and take his spot, and that could potentially disrupt everything you guys have been doing.
Yeah, I think what you said is the key. I think right now we feel like everyone needs to pick a side. I know our fan base, and there's Cam supporters, there's Kyle Allen supporters. I think as a team, collectively, to a man, we understand what Cam has meant to this organization and still means to this organization. I know personally what he's meant to my career. I've been on record saying he's one of the best things that ever happened to my career, coming here from Chicago, getting traded to Carolina in 11, and what he's helped me do from a productivity standpoint. I'm the first one to go out and give him his due. But I think at the same point, we also can say what Kyle Allen has done for us in the last 4 weeks is also incredible. And I don't think that takes anything away from Cam. I don't think that takes away Cam's value to us, Cam's impact on our organization. I think both those things can be true.
Real quick, North Turner shows up. And Cam Newton, I thought, I'm interested in your opinion on this, before he got hurt last year against the Steelers, that's the best I ever saw him play overall, including his MVP season. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. He's more accurate down the field. He's looking good. The team's looking good. What did Norv Turner bring to the offense and to Cam? And do you think when Cam is healthy, he's capable of playing, like his best football could be in front of him?
Yeah, I think it was kind of a unique dynamic. Last year, obviously, Norv coming in, we made some slight changes. It was a similar offense that we had run in the past, all the way back to when Rob Chudzinski came in 11. He's from that Norv tree. Then Shula kept that same system in place. Norv put a little bit of a different twist on it, but I also think part of that was our personnel. We didn't have Christian all those years back, guys like DJ and Curtis, where we can make short throws, long runs. In the past, it was always long throws, long gains, right? Because we needed to do a lot of our damage before the ball was completed. So Cam was forced to push the ball down the field, bigger targets between me and Kelvin and some of the bigger guys that we had. A lot of the balls were traveling in the air further down the field. Now we can throw a quick screen to DJ and Curtis. We can throw them a drag right ball out of the backfield to Christian, and they can be
yards after catch.
Exactly. Plus plays, explosive plays that don't require us. So that's when you see completion percentage numbers go up. So I think it was a very unique storm. I think it was part scheme, part Cam playing really well, and part the pieces that he had around him.
Greg, let me ask you this. And I mean, you could also argue good problems to have. You have two great quarterbacks. We know what Kyle Allen's done, and we know Cam's a potential Hall of Famer. You don't get to the NFL if you're not really competitive. We talked about having Christian McCaffrey, everything kind of clicking now. What is Cam's mindset? Is he champing at the bit to get back out there?
I'm sure he is. I mean, being around Cam and people that have followed him, he is the ultimate competitor. When he steps on the field, especially when he's feeling himself, we've seen over the years, in his mind, there's no one better on the football field than him. And I think that's his edge that allows him to have the success he's had all the way back through his year in Auburn. So I think the biggest thing for him, and I give him a lot of credit after that Thursday night game in Tampa where we didn't play well offensively, he felt he didn't play well. All of us shared in those struggles. I think for him to say to the team, listen, I need to get myself right. I'm obviously out there not playing to the level of expectation that I have for myself, that the organization, the fan base has for me, and I need to get myself healthy. I need to get myself back to when I step on the field, I feel I can do all the things that make me special. What's made Cam Newton special for 9 years hasn't just been his passing, right? We all have seen he has changed the game from the standpoint of a quarterback being a threat in both design runs and improv. And when that element was taken out of his game, he felt the effects, and as a result, the team felt the effects. So he's getting himself ready. When that is, we'll hopefully find out here in the next couple weeks, maybe, and then we'll take it when we get there.
What difference do you see in Cam Newton now compared to what you've been witnessing over the course of his career, and is it a good or bad thing?
I've seen a great evolution in Cam. I've seen a maturity. I've seen him, seeing how he is with his kids and as a father and all those things. When I first came in the league, he was a young 22-year-old, 1 year in college, came busting out, and to see him evolve into, the maturity and to see how he handles his business. He takes a lot of pride in his preparation. He takes a lot of pride in his offseason and how he maintains his body. I've seen a great, growth. The thing that's hurt Cam over the years is one of the things that, unfortunately, is the reality of this game, and that's injury. And you can do everything you can in the world, but you can't help but get a foot sprain on turf up in Patriots because you hit your foot right. Trust me, I know all about it.
I want to ask you about that for you. So we've been asking you a lot about Cam, but I've always been interested in your career because you were a great tight end playing in Gronk's shadow, like in terms of the position. When people talk tight ends, they talk Gronk first. And then people who are like, want to argue, oh, look at Greg Olsen, look at what he's doing. Then you get hurt. You haven't played a full season now since 2016.
Yep.
And now Travis Kelce's getting a lot of shine, right? As a competitor, as a guy who's played just about as well as anyone who's ever played it, not many, I wouldn't take you first all-time tight end, but it doesn't get much better than you at tight end. How do you feel as a competitor watching that was Gronk's era, and now people are talking about Travis, and I'm hurt right now, and what is that about?
Yeah, it's true. I'd be lying if I didn't say that's been part of my whole career. It's just the reality. I'm not the most flashy guy. I'm not the guy that's making the sound bites. I'm not the guy that's dancing in the end zone and doing the fun things that in today's world gets a lot of attention. I have played in kind of the ultimate era of tight ends. I mean, some of the most productive tight ends of all time have been since I've come into the league. At the beginning of my career, it was Gonzalez. Witten is still going. Antonio Gates now, obviously, I think being done. I don't know if he'll be back. I've kind of been in the golden era of tight ends, and sometimes you lose out to some of those guys. But I think when people take a seat and sit down and say, all right, let's look at the productivity over this stretch of years, guys that have played during my career, all the names.
You still got it? Or you still got like what level are you capable of performing at right now?
I don't think there's anything any of the guys in the league that are much younger than me, what they can do. A lot of it, obviously is opportunities. I have a lot of other talented guys in my offense that we're going to spread the ball. It's not 2015-16 anymore where I'm getting 1,000 yards every year because I'm getting 110 targets. And that's okay with me. But I know what I'm able to do. And I think when people take a look at my production over my career, you can stack it up against any of these other guys. And I think people would be surprised at where I fall on that list. And the reality is I'm ahead of a lot of these guys. And it was quieter. It was in a run-first offense. But that's okay. I never was the guy that was out there trying to be the most popular guy, be the most, the guy that everyone's talking about. I take a lot of pride in being productive. Those 2 years obviously were difficult. I went 10 years without missing a game, and then 2 years where I was just really struggled with this foot. And I'm feeling good now. I feel like I'm able to run again for the first time in 3 seasons. And it's been fun.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, no question. Before we let you go here, I try to always stay hydrated. Don't want to be puffy on camera.
Yeah.
Try to drink a gallon of water a day. Tell me what you're doing with Smart Water.
So I've been on with you guys before. We've talked a lot about, my wife and I are very involved in our community back in Charlotte. Our child, TJ, he was born with a very serious heart condition, gave all his treatment at Levine Children's Hospital. So our program that we run there, the Hardest Yard, we have on Monday, coming off this bye weekend, we have our first annual Hardest Yard Fit Fest. It's at the Panthers facility in their practice bubble. And Smart Water Alkaline, they're one of our big partners, helping keep everybody there hydrated, keep everybody there supported. And we're just thankful for their support. And it allows us to give back to a community that's given us a lot.
Kudos to you. That's the real
Thanks so
work.
much.
But we actually need you to stick around. You're going to play analyst in the next segment, okay? No more Panthers questions.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so Greg's staying. We have a lot more to come on First Take, including a former Redskin blasting D.C. divided, whether Sam Darnold should be in Cleveland and Miles